The following are a list of episodes of The Loud House. In them, the characters were reportedly seen to be dealing with real-life issues. Workers and interns managed to describe only a few certain scenes, since it was against their contract to describe what happened in the full episodes. The following is what they revealed. Lori's lesson. Lori and Bobby had been together for 5 months already. "Happy 5-month anniversary, Bobby Boo Boo Bear," Lori cooed to her boyfriend over her phone. "It felt like yesterday since we went out," Bobby replied. "I have something for you, babe, but I want to give it to you at that one place we had our first date." "Aw, Bobby, you literally shouldn't have. I'll be there ASAP, Kay." Lori grabbed the keys to the family van in her phone. On her way out, Mr. Loud shouted from another room, "Lori, if you're going to be driving the van, be sure to bring it back before 6. Your mother and I have special plans for tonight." "Sure, whatever," Lori sighed as she headed out the door. She got into the van, turned it on, went off to see Bobby. As she drove down the neighborhood, she felt her phone vibrate. Maybe it's Bobby again, Lori thought. But Lori knew not to text and drive. That's dangerous. She kept her eyes on the road driving. Soon she felt her phone vibrate again, another time, and once more. Is it an emergency? Does Bobby have something really important to say, like trying to change the date location, or could he be hurt? Lori was still driving, anxious to look at her sudden text, but she couldn't see an opportunity to pull over and stop since there were so many cars and junk in that street. If I just keep going straight and constantly glance back and forth at the road, I'll be fine. The road is straight. Besides, I'm literally only going 35 miles per hour. That can't kill me. Lori then pulled out her phone to see 11 new messages, but they weren't from Bobby. It was a spam from a teen magazine she subscribed to. Apparently, she gave them her phone number without paying attention. Nevertheless, Lori was still fixated on their new hot stories. Ooh! A steamy romance between Chad and Grace? Lori smashed against another person's parked car, destroying the van's front. The airbags deployed but did more bad than good, bruising Lori's left eye. Glass shattered and cut her in several pieces. She was conscious for a couple of seconds, then passed out. Several hours later, Lori found herself on a hospital bed with her family and Bobby surrounding her. "Lori!" they all shouted. "Oh, thank God you're okay," Mrs. Loud said with tears in her eyes. What happened?" Lori asked. "You were in a car accident, hon," Mr. Loud answered. "The van needs to be fixed, but that doesn't matter now. We're all just glad you're still with us." Lori felt so stupid and guilty. Do you guys know the details of what happened?" "That doesn't matter right now, babe." Bobby held her weak hand. "Just rest up, okay? Here, your sisters and brother made you these cards." Lori read each and every card from her family, telling her that they love her and hope she recovers soon. But sadness sank into her. She knew that she'd never text and drive again, no matter what. From that day forward, Lori would never take her life for granted ever again. Used and abused. Oh, it was the best day ever for Leni Loud. Cute boy in her science class named Adam asked her out on a date. Leni secretly always wanted a boyfriend. She'd fantasize about walking on the beach together, going shopping at the mall, going on a double date with Lori and Bobby. Well, the date went fine. They went to a local cafe and talked. Well, she did most of the talking, but Adam didn't seem that interested. Nevertheless, she felt so happy. When Adam dropped her off at her house, she insisted that he meet her family. Adam refused. Oh, I feel like it's too early for us to see each other's family, babe. Oh my gosh! You just call me babe. Does that, mean we're an official couple? Leni asked. Sure, said Adam. Yay! Leni squealed in delight. Adam drove off and she rushed into the house to tell Lori the big news. Wow! That is literally the best news ever! I'm so happy for you, sis, Lori said. I know. I just can't wait to go on more dates, shop together at the mall, call him, shop at the mall. The next day, Adam picked Leni up to go to the mall. Yeah, sorry I didn't want to see your family, babe. Kind of like that. Oh, no worries. There'll be plenty of time to meet all of them. A few days went by, and both Adam and Leni went on small dates. It was nice to her, but for some reason kept looking around as if he was trying to find someone. Leni didn't notice. A few more days went by, and Leni didn't hear a word from Adam. Then one Sunday morning, she received a text. Hey, BB, I miss you. Come see me at the park at noon. Happy face. Leni got excited and got ready immediately. Wait a minute, Leni thought to herself. Adam didn't talk to me for the last few days, and now he wants to see me? He must be throwing a surprise party for me. Leni got more anxious. Wait, I should do something special for him. I'll pack him a pie. Luan taught me how, so I got this. It was noon at the park, and Leni was carrying a disfigured plum pie. She saw Adam's cute face in the distance, smiling. But someone else was with him. A girl. It was Rebecca Slater, another classmate of Leni's. Adam? Leni approached the scumbag. Leni, what are you doing here? Asked Adam. Silly, I got your text. You told me to meet you here. Am I early for the surprise party? Thanks for coming, Rebecca. Leni smiled. Rebecca laughed. Oh, hon, you went through a whole week pretending to date this idiot? Leni's smile was wiped off. Pretend? Look, Leni, Adam started to explain. I only asked you out to make Rebecca jealous. We went out, but now we're back together, so I don't need you anymore. I don't know why you got that text. That was intended for Rebecca. But you said you loved me. She teared up. I must say, hon, it was a smart move to dupe the dumbest girl in school. But then again, it's not hard to trick Leni Loud. Rebecca sneered. Adam, I made you a pie. I worked hard on it. It's a plum. Adam jumped back. I'm allergic to plums. You trying to kill me? I don't know. Leni cried more tears. Rebecca knocked the pie off of Leni's hands, making it splatter all on her dress. Get away from us, you retard. Adam and Rebecca walked away while Leni slumped on a tree crying her heart out. She was used and abused. As her tear-stained eyes stared at the broken pie, she muttered, Worst surprise party ever. Beer pressure. It was 9 p.m. on a Friday. Lynn had just got done playing a small gig at a local restaurant. The crowd loved her and her new bandmates. She only just met them a couple weeks ago. About the same age as her, but all went to a rival school. They were all cool with each other. Lena got done packing her gear and headed to Chunk's car where he'd load all the instruments and whatnot. Then Luna spotted her bandmates in an alleyway socializing and talking about the gig. She walked up with the biggest grin. Dudes, that gig was awesome. We were rocking the joint. You guys are the raddest bandmates ever. Then she noticed the potent smell coming from them. They were all holding beer and whiskey bottles. she asked. "What are you doing in this alley? And what are you drinking?" "Nothing, love. Just some beers to celebrate our first gig. Want to join in?" one of them asked. Luna knew they were all too young to drink and would get in a lot of trouble if caught. She hesitated, but one of her mates put a bottle in her hand. "Go on, Luna. All the famous musicians drink when they were our age. Even Mick Swagger." Luna worships Mick Swagger. If he supposedly drank beer when he was a teen, then what harm could be done? Just one beer and that's it, right? Luna took a small sip and cringed at the bitter taste. But she didn't want to look lame in front of her new friends, so she kept drinking. Shen grabbed a second bottle, then a third. Luna was starting to enjoy the taste, getting really tipsy. Then the bass guitarist handed her his bottle of whiskey. "Here, Luna. This tastes much better." Without hesitation, Luna took a big gulp out of the liquor bottle and felt really hot inside. After a while, she got dizzy and started to lose her balance. Luna fell to her knees and her gag reflexes kicked in. One of the boys in the band mocked her. "Uh-oh, looks like this one got greedy." Suddenly, Luna threw up all over her outfit and ground with her so-called friends laughing at the sight. Chunk walked in the alleyway. "Hey, what's taking so long, blokes? We gotta go." The bandmates ran off scared while poor Luna was still kneeling and puking. She felt so stupid giving in to peer pressure. Chunk ran up to Luna. "Luna, you okay, love?" Luna looked at Chunk with tears in her eyes. "Chunk," she sobbed. "Please take me home." Paled it. It was unusually quiet one Saturday morning in the Loud house. Lincoln Loud got out of bed to use the bathroom. As soon as he opened the door, slash! A bucket filled with water drenched him from above. "Really, Luan?" Lincoln moaned. Luan popped out of the shower curtain. "Looks like you paled to avoid that gag." "Ha ha ha. Get it?" Lincoln got annoyed, but it was typical for Luan to pull pranks at everyone. During lunch, Lincoln made himself a sandwich. He looked away as he was getting peanut butter from the fridge. As soon as he took the first bite, he felt something squirm in his mouth. "What the heck?" He pulled off the top slice of bread, only to see worms moving about. He screamed. A familiar giggle alerted him from behind. "You know what they say, Link? The early bird gets the worm." Ha ha ha. Not only did that gag gross Lincoln out, but he got pretty angry. A few hours later, Lincoln decided to play on his twerking zombie simulator thing from episode 2. It was twerking and dancing on the second floor near the stairs. Luan snuck up behind him and yelped, "Boo!" Lincoln got startled, making his simulator game fly off his head and tumble down the stairs violently. It took a while to see where he landed, but Lincoln found his game broken near the television. "No! Not again!" Lincoln shouted. He stormed up to Luan's room to scold her. He had enough of her stupid pranks. He slammed her door open, but he could only find Luna tuning her guitar. "Dude, chill. What gives?" Luna asked. "Where's Luan? She broke my game," Lincoln yelled. Luna sighed. "She's on her way to the Buzz and Run Cafe doing a comedy gig." Lincoln stormed out of the house and ran to the cafe. He noticed the garbage guys didn't pick up today's trash. Then Lincoln got an awful idea. Later at the cafe, Luan was telling her usual jokes. A few people were chuckling. It was a tough crowd. Then Luan had to pull out the big guns. "Hey, who's up for some PG-13 jokes?" But Before she could start, sploosh! A bucket filled with smelly, moldy garbage fell right on her. The audience gasped, then roared with laughter. Lincoln pulled out from behind the curtain and shouted toward the audience, "I always knew my sister was trashy." More audience laughter. Luan was utterly shocked that Lincoln would do such a thing. She teared up as she noticed the audience was laughing at her. She cried and stormed out of the cafe, leaving Lincoln feeling a bit guilty. Shattered. It was an intense day of soccer practice because the big game was only a few days away. Lynn and her teammates were putting in 100%, scoring goals, making impressive passes, the usual. There was a new teammate, though, named Betsy Davis. She was pretty tall and strong for a 13-year-old, which is why the coach wanted her on the soccer team. Betsy could kick a ball so hard you'd swear it would break through the goal's net. But Betsy is a mean girl. She wants to play soccer for her own personal gain. When she saw how good Lynn was at soccer, she got jealous right away. As Lynn was doing fancy tricks with the ball, Betsy walked up to her. "Hey, Loud, I challenge you one-on-one. Bet I could score a goal before you. Or are you too chicken?" Betsy sneered. "Ha! You kidding? I never turn away from a challenge. You're on," Lynn agreed. So it was settled. As the other girls were doing their drills, Lynn and Betsy were going at it, trying to take the soccer ball from the other. Lynn snagged the ball and was about to wind up for the kick, but then suddenly, BAM! Betsy kicked Lynn's shin so hard the bone shattered. Lynn sat there screaming in pain as Betsy smiled in satisfaction because she did it on purpose. Lynn's friends and coach rushed to her aid and called an ambulance. Mr. and Mrs. Loud were notified as well. Lynn had fractured bones in the past, but this was the worst one yet. She couldn't play soccer for the next 8 weeks. And that hurt Lynn more than the leg injury did. Poor Bun Bun. It was a beautiful summer morning. Lincoln Loud woke up early with his dog Charles licking his face. "Ha ha ha! Charles, stop! I'm getting up," Lincoln laughed. Charles hopped down and made his way out the door. Lincoln got dressed and was about to make his way to the bathroom to brush his teeth. Yet he noticed something was missing from his room. His Ace Savvy comics were all stacked. His toys and ARG calendar were in their place. But then he looked at his bed. "Well, where's Bun Bun?" Lincoln checked twice under his bed and around the desk, checked under the covers and behind his laptop. He scurried to Charles to see if the mutt took him, but alas, no Bun Bun. "Maybe Mom's watching it without telling me?" Link thought. He went up to her. "Mom, have you seen Bun Bun? I can't find him." "Sorry, honey, I haven't," Rita replied. "Are you sure he's not in your messy room?" "Ah! I looked around 3 times." Lincoln was panicking and frustrated. He asked Lori and Leni, but they wouldn't touch that filthy stuffed bunny. He then asked Lynn and Lucy, but all they did was point and laugh at the fact that he still had a stuffed animal. Luna and Luan didn't know either, but said they'd let him know if they find him. Lisa hadn't seen the stuffed bunny, but couldn't understand why her big brother could be so attached to a toy. Being 4 years old, she probably couldn't grasp the idea of sentimental value in things. Lincoln then went downstairs. Maybe Bun Bun was around the living room. Soon he saw Lana standing behind the couch. "Lana, what are you—" Lana jumped. "Ah, Lincoln, I just found him like this. I didn't do it, I swear." Right beneath Lana's feet laid Bun Bun, torn to shreds. Lincoln's stomach sank before his knees did. His eyes watered as he saw his most valued possession violated. He cried for half a minute as Lana looked at him with great sympathy. Lincoln looked up at his sister. Who did this? Who? Before she could answer, Lola snaked her way behind the couch and looked at her pathetic brother. You should have answered my question yesterday, Linky. It was then that Lincoln would never wear those darn noise-begone earbuds again. Shaken. It was a rainy Saturday evening at the Royal Wood Cemetery. Lucy Loud was just being her usual melancholy self, strolling along with her dreary umbrella, looking for inspiration. Death is the best mercy we have on this planet. How beautiful it must be to not suffer anymore. Lucy sat down underneath a decaying oak tree and started writing. An hour passed by and it was getting dark. Well, friends, I gotta go. Doubt my parents would care if I come back home, but I can't miss my vampire TV show. Lucy got her umbrella and book of poems and started walking back home. She knew a shortcut right across the woods. It was even darker around the trees, but Lucy didn't care. She loved the dark. It was nothing but trees, more trees, and a stone here and there surrounding the trail. The only thing that broke the monotony was a murky pond halfway through. Lucy would sometimes throw rocks in the pond and pretend she was drowning them. Where she stood, the pond was only 3 feet below her. She decided to throw a rock or two. Splish! That was cool. Sloosh! That was even better. Thud! Lucy noticed the rock didn't hit the water. Could it be a bit of land? No way. The pond was 6 feet deep all around and 25 feet across. There was no way it was starting to dry up. But whatever it was that the rock hit, it started floating toward Lucy. All she saw was a black shape. It didn't make a sound, but it smelled awful. As it floated closer, she could tell it was a person. Mesmerized, Lucy leaned forward, but whoops! She leaned too far and slipped off the edge into the murky water. Lucy panicked, tried to get out quickly, but she took one good look at the smelly object, only to discover it was a rotting human corpse with its face eaten off. To see such a disturbing sight in the dark really rattled Lucy to the core. Screamed for help as she splashed her way out of the pond. She crawled out of the pond on her hands and knees and ran as fast as she could to the house, leaving behind her umbrella and book of poems. Lucy reached the house, gasping for air and shivering. She opened the door and stuttered her way to her bedroom. It was late at night and most of her siblings were in their own rooms. She opened hers. Lynn was already asleep. Lucy slid on top of her own bed and curled up, shivering and mumbling to herself. Lynn woke to the sounds of her younger sister sobbing. Luce? What's up? Lynn asked. But Lynn... Well, she didn't receive an answer. Lucy kept mumbling and sobbing, shaken from what she had seen. Twin trouble. One Wednesday evening, Lola and Lana Loud were in their room doing their things. Lola was having a tea party with her stuffed animals and dollies, and Lana was taking care of Izzy, her pet lizard. After putting Izzy back in his cage, Lana wanted to have some fun with one of Lola's little dolls. She wanted to put a doll in Izzy's cage and see if he would attack it. So Lana spotted a random Barbie-like doll on the floor and picked it up. "What do you think you're doing?" hissed Lola. "What? You're not playing with it, so I'm going to borrow it for a minute," Lana replied. "No, that is my dolly, and you can't borrow it." Lola yanked the doll out of her twin sister's hands, and Lana tried to take it back. The two girls were battling out in a tug-of-war with the little doll until... Pop! The doll was pulled apart in half. "Lana! Look what you did!" yelled Lola. "I didn't do that, you did," rebutted Lana. "But I totally did these." Lana pulled out a few of Lola's dolls from under her bed with their hair cut off. "You monster!" Lola clenched her fists. Lana also pulled out the big kid's scissors from under the bed and threatened, "I'll do it again with all your dolls!" Lana rushed toward Lola's doll collection, but Lola pushed her back. The twins then fought tooth and nail, slapping each other, pulling each other's hair and cheeks, occasional bites. The rest of the Loud kids could hear the two fight, but ignored it since it happens all the time. After a couple of minutes of fighting, the girls were all scratched up and tired. "Lana, you're the worst sister ever! I want you and your dumb animals out of my room!" commanded Lola. "Make me," said Lana. Lola then tried to push her twin sister out of the room, but Lana grabbed the big kid's scissors and cut part of Lola's hair off. As soon as Lola saw the golden strands floating in front of her face, she went berserk. She grabbed the scissors from Lana's hand and stabbed her in the arm. Lana screamed in agony. The rest of the Loud family could hear Lana crying loudly and rushed to the twins' room. Lola couldn't believe what she'd done. Regret immediately flooded her mind as she saw poor Lana holding her arm in pain. The rest of her sisters and Lincoln looked in utter shock and tried to help out Lana. "What did you do?" screamed Lori. Lola just stood there staring at the floor in disbelief at what she'd done. Soon Mr. and Mrs. Loud stomped into the room. "What in the world happened here?" Mr. Loud cried out. Breaking Lisa. Lisa Loud was ready for a big day. She'd be presenting her latest invention to a group of investors downtown. And if they were impressed with it, then they'd buy the rights and pay Lisa a huge amount of money. But money's just a social construct to the precocious Lisa. What she wants is her invention to be mass-produced. It's a super carbon filterator, a machine about 6 feet tall, looks like a metal palm tree. Uses electricity to run its power, but its sole purpose is to recycle carbon dioxide into oxygen, at a much faster rate than regular trees. This invention would revolutionize the fight against climate change. With the SCF in the back of a trailer connected to Vanzilla, Lisa was ready to go. But she had forgotten her notes in her room. She quickly ran up the stairs to get them. The invention was still outside, waiting for its master to come back. Clunk! Lynn throws a football, accidentally hitting the SCF. Oops! Lynn rushes toward the invention, notices a small part fell off. She quickly put the fallen piece back on, as she really didn't know where it went originally. I'm sure it'll be fine. Lynn scurried off nervously with her football. As soon as Lynn left, Lisa came back, not knowing what had happened. Mr. Loud drove Lisa downtown to one of the corporate buildings where the meeting would take place. Inside the meeting room were a group of investors with fancy business suits and intimidating faces. Lisa got her notes and got ready to present. Gentlemen, I present to you the Super Carbon Filterator. Put these around any major city and the air will be much cleaner, Lisa proudly shouted. How does it work? One man asked. Allow me to demonstrate. Lisa turned on the switch and the SCF roared awake. Seconds went by and the invention started to shake violently. Lisa was confused and started to bang on the thing, but it shook harder. The group of investors stood up from their chairs, frightened. Then something inside the thing exploded, causing part of the room to catch fire. Everyone ran out of the building, now blazing with an inferno on the top 5 floors. Everyone in the building got out safely, but a few had minor injuries, including Lisa. The firefighters arrived to put out the flames. One investor yelled at poor Lisa, Your so-called invention nearly killed us! Plus it cost millions in damages! I knew not to trust a 4-year-old, no matter how many junior Nobel Prizes she won! Everybody gave Lisa dirty looks as she was sitting on the ground. Well, she tried not to cry, but she did. She was still a 4-year-old after all. playground love. So what's the story here? Ronnie Anne wanted to give a small box of candy, Sweet Smarts, for Lincoln for Valentine's Day. It was going to be like a, here's a little gift for you, lame-o. It's not a big deal type of situation, but in reality, she really wanted to give him something nicer. Didn't have enough money. She didn't dare to ask Bobby or her parents because it would be embarrassing. She was looking for Lincoln during recess, but saw him walking with Christina. She hid behind one of those squash walls and listened to their conversation. Oh, Lincoln, you're so sweet for giving me these flowers. Anything for you, Christina. Thanks for giving me your biggest Valentine heart. Ronnie Anne couldn't believe it. She cried and ran back to the school. She soon ate those Sweet Smarts by herself.